LaMelo Ball has just gotten traded in a blockbuster trade to the Minnesota Timberwolves with Josh Green for Naz Reid and a bunch of draft capital. These draft picks here are not accurate, so I will have to fix that once I get the chance to, but let's go ahead and pull off this trade. This trade has me very hyped. I'm so excited to see the new duo of Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, both players drafted in the 2020 NBA draft. LaMelo Ball at pick number 3 and Anthony Edwards with pick number 1. And taking a look at the rest of the team, we still have some really good players. I've always been a huge fan of Jaden McDaniels and his two-way play, plus his offense has been getting a lot better. It's been trending upwards these last few seasons. He was averaging 15 points per game on 50, 40, 80 shooting splits. Rudy Gobert, I'm not sure what we're going to do with him. He is 34 years old towards the end of his career, and he's being paid $36 million on an expiring contract. We are here at free agency day, and before I sign some players, I do want to say that we're on a mission to hit 10,000 subscribers this summer, and it's definitely possible with your guys' support, so it would mean the world to me if y'all could hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, like the video and hype the video. All 3 buttons are absolutely free, and it truly does support out the channel a ton. And since our team no longer has Naz Reid or Julius Randle, we need ourselves a new power forward bad. We're definitely not going to start Kyle Anderson, and that is a promise. And also, Ayo Dosunmu does need to re-sign. In real life, he has signed an extension with the Timberwolves, but not in 2K simulation, and he signed a 5-year, $112 million contract, which is a lot of money for a player coming off the bench, but we got to give him what he got in real life. So let's see if this matches out the same. Okay, so we are actually paying him a little bit more here in 2K Simulation, $4 million, but I will fix that once I get the chance to. So now let's go ahead and sign Ayo Dosunmu, which he will be accepting on a 5-year, $116 million contract. I do feel like that's a lot of player, but I mean, Ayo Dosunmu has had a breakout season. And taking a look at power forwards, I don't really see anyone here that I'm a big fan of, but I will go ahead and give Kenrich Williams a 2-year deal. We are also in need of a backup center, so who could we get here? Robert Williams wants about $5 million. I don't believe we're going to have that much money, but we should be able to bring in Jackson Hayes, perhaps. Well, I am going to go ahead and offer Robert Williams a contract. If we're not able to pay him, I guess that will suck, but let's see if we could. $4.25 million. All 3 players do accept, but do we have the money for all 3? And yes, we do. We have ourselves one too many small forwards, and also we don't need Donte DiVincenzo anymore since we already have Ayo Dosunmu as a backup guard. So I am going to try and trade Donte DiVincenzo in a small forward and try and bring in a new starting power forward for our future. Finding ourselves a new starting power forward has been a lot harder than expected, but we found this trade here with the Portland Trail Blazers that I'm a pretty big fan of. We're going to bring in Timberwolves Kamara to be our brand new starting power forward. He's an amazing defender. This past season, he was averaging 13 points per game while shooting 37% from the 3-point line and 44% from the field. So we're going to send the Portland Trail Blazers Donte DiVincenzo and Julian Phillips for Timberwolves Kamara to be our brand new starting power forward. Alrighty, here we are at the start of this season with our brand new 9-man rotation. In the starting lineup, we have ourselves LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Timberwolves Kamara, and Rudy Gobert. Off the bench, we have Ayo Dosunmu, Robert Williams, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Kenrich Williams. I'm already loving the way our team is looking, so let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season. The first game is up against the New York Knicks, who we do end up defeating 140-130. Anthony Edwards dropping 39 points, LaMelo Ball in his Timberwolves debut with 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 13 assists with only 1 turnover. And that's a pretty good sign if you ask me. We just defeated the defending NBA champs. Can we also defeat the Rockets and the Jazz? Let's see. We do defeat the Houston Rockets here by 1 single point, and Anthony Edwards dropping 47 points, 19 from LaMelo and 13 from McDaniels. Let's go 3 of 3 in this first week. Let's go. We also defeat the Jazz 129-123. Ant-Man with 33 points. Where's LaMelo? He had himself 15, 6, and 6. In multiple post-game interviews, I've heard Anthony Edwards say he needs a true point guard beside him, so that's why I'm so excited that LaMelo Ball and his playmaking will now be the starting point guard for the Timberwolves. I really want to see this team. I cannot wait until October where we finally see this team in action. Let's take a look at system proficiency. So currently we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, 7 seconds under Chris Finch. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but of course, if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping here at the trade deadline to show you all. This entire video, I've been so excited about the Timberwolves landing themselves LaMelo, I did not even stop to talk about my thoughts about the Hornets trading him away. And personally, I don't like this for the Hornets. And that's because last season toward the second half, they went on a huge run, and I thought they were definitely going to be a playoff team this season, but I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore since they don't have the big three of LaMelo, Brennan Miller, and Con Knappel. But I did see somewhere that Kobe White re-signed with this team, so maybe they think Kobe White could be the solution at the point guard position. I do want to hear your guys' opinions on if you like this trade for the Charlotte Hornets. Comment down below and let me know. I am honestly interested in seeing what you guys have to say. And do you guys think the Hornets are going to be a playoff team, or is this season going to go to waste? We are stopped here on contract extension day, and we are able to extend Josh Green. I am going to extend him. I don't know if he's going to remain on this team, but we could possibly use him and his contract to flip this offseason, so I will be extending him. And Kyle Anderson, we don't need on this team, so I will not be extending him. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first ever MVP, even though in my opinion, it should have gone to Anthony Edwards. He was in the word races to winning MVP, and bro was putting up unreal numbers. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year, Naz Reid, Sixth Man, Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player, Reese Shea, Most Improved, Luka Doncic, Clutch Player, and our head coach, Chris Finch, Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. Now let's take a look at All NBA awards. Do we get ourselves anyone here on All NBA? We do not. But we do land LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards on an All-NBA second team. Let's go. What about on an All-Defensive team? And we don't get anybody here on an All-Defensive team, but that is all right. We ended this season as the #1 seed, winning a total of 75 games and losing only 7. I knew we were going to be a very good team this year, but I had no clue we were going to win 75 games and break the previous record held with the Golden State Warriors, where they won 73 wins and 9 losses. This is amazing. And now let's take a look at player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was Anthony Edwards, averaging nearly 33 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals on 50, 40, 79 shooting splits. LaMelo was playing amazing, 24, 5, and 9 on 50, 40, 87 shooting splits, 16 from McDaniels, 16 from Ayo Dosunmu, and 11 from Toumani Camara. And to be honest, I had a feeling Rudy Gobert was going to be awful this season, but he was actually really good. He's basically averaging a 10-point double-double, his defense was amazing, and his field goal percentage was 58% from the field, which is amazing. Now let's take a look at team stats and see how our team did here. Offensive rating, we had the best offensive rating with the best defensive rating and the best point differential. Let's go. And let's not forget about three-pointers. We were making the most three-pointers with nearly 15 three-pointers made per game. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Houston Rockets, and they have themselves Reed Shepherd, Amin Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün with Anthony Simons as their 6th man. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Anthony Edwards with 39 points, LaMelo with a 24-point double-double, and 20 from Camara. Game number 2, we also go on to win 128-113, Ant-Man with 33, and let's go, Rudy Gobert 22 points with 15 rebounds. Game 3, we also win, and we go on to sweep the Houston Rockets. So far here in the playoffs, LaMelo is averaging 23, 5, and 9. Then we have Anthony Edwards averaging 35 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And now comes time for the second round, and we are taking on the Dallas Mavericks. They have themselves a healthy Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively. They were the #4 seed in the regular season, winning a total of 46 games. Whoa, the Western Conference was very weak this season. As you guys can see, the 3rd-seeded Clippers only won 49 points, and usually in the Western Conference, that is not the case. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Ant-Man dropping 36, 23 from LaMelo, and 13 from Jaden. Game number 2, we do end up falling short here, 127-104. LaMelo played amazing, Anthony Edwards not so much. He did struggle here offensively, 4 of 16 from the field. Game 3, we also end up losing. Whoa, we're down 125-114 here in Game 3. Ant-Man was amazing, so was LaMelo, but sadly we still end up losing. And thankfully we do tie up the series here in Game 4, 112-102. Anthony Edwards with 28, LaMelo with 21, 12, and 9. Can we go up 3-2? And yes, we can. Ant-Man going off here for 34, 22 and 11 from LaMelo. Let's see if we close things out. We do end up closing things out here in Game 6, defeating the Mavericks by 10 points. And Anthony Edwards went off for 42 points in 38 minutes. McDaniels with 23, and LaMelo only had 9, but 9 assists as well. That does mean we are going to the Western Conference Finals, and this is where things are going to get difficult. We're taking on the San Antonio Spurs, a team that just made the NBA Finals but did fall short to the New York Knicks, so they're a hungry team. They're going out there for a championship. They did bring in Tobias Harris from the looks of things, and their starting lineup, they have De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Harris, Wemby, and off the bench they have Harris. A really stacked team, as you guys could tell. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up losing 141 to 110. De'Aaron Fox 31, Wemby with a triple-double. We do end up losing. Game 2, we also fall short. Oh god, 133 to 102. We end up losing here. Ant-Man was amazing. LaMelo had a double-double, but our defense was awful, and we are down 3-0, 116 to 86. They outscored us by 30 points. Holy. And don't tell me we're going to get swept by the San Antonio Spurs, and we do end up winning game 4, thankfully, 122 to 118. And in this game, Anthony Edwards had 32, 15, and 17 from LaMelo. I mean, usually winning a championship in the first year of the rebuild is difficult, but I was expecting it, especially after the regular season that we had. But I wouldn't be too mad if we don't end up winning, honestly, because that would just mean we need to make more moves this offseason. And that's the whole point of a rebuild. So let's go here in game 5. And yeah, so we do get eliminated here by the San Antonio Spurs in game 5, with Victor Wembanyama winning Western Conference Finals MVP, Cade Cunningham Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and bro was almost averaging 40 points per game. Holy. And now in the NBA Finals, we have the Pistons taking on the Spurs, and it looks like the San Antonio Spurs go on to win, with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP. And all that means is we're still not championship contenders, which means this offseason we're going to have to pull off some trades, make our team better, so next year we go out there and compete for a championship. And I already have some pretty big trades in mind. I would like to upgrade the center position going into the offseason, and possibly even the power forward. But now let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs, where we played a total of 15 games. Anthony Edwards was balling out, averaging 32 points per game. LaMelo was amazing as well, basically averaging a 19-point double-double. 14 from Jaden, 13 from Ayo, and 11 from Kamara. And Kamara honestly was awful shooting the ball here, 29% from the three-point line. I've noticed this in prior simulations. Tamani Kamara, there's times where he's just awful and he cannot hit his three-pointers, even though in real life he's a good three-point shooter. In 2K, that's not always the case. So maybe we move on from him this offseason. That's something we're going to look into as well. It is time for staff signings, and I do think it's time for us to move on from Chris Finch. So we are going to go ahead and fire Chris Finch as the head coach and try and bring in somebody new. We do have options like Nick Nurse, Joe Mazzulla, Jason Kidd. So let me go ahead and offer a bunch of contracts, and I'll show you guys which head coach accepts the offer. After all of the offers I sent out, it looks like Jason Kidd will be accepting and joining our team as a brand new head coach for our future. I'm happy with this signing, so let's see how things go. We don't have ourselves any picks in the 2027 NBA draft, so let's go ahead to team player options and see which team player options we gotta pick up here. Rudy Gobert does accept his $38 million player option. That's a lot of money for a player who's 35 years old towards the end of his career. Terrence Shannon Jr. we will pick up the team option for, and the same for Joan Bringer. I do want to make Bringer eventually our backup center because I've seen before he ends up progressing a ton in 2K simulation. Qualifying offers, we don't have to give anyone a qualifying offer. And is there anyone we need to re-sign? Not really, except for Kyle Anderson, who I will not be bringing back. We are in need of a new starting center, and the Indiana Pacers are offering us a Via Zubac and an Aaron Nesmith. They get themselves the expiring contract in Rudy Gobert and a young player in Terrence Shannon Jr. who they will have the bird rights on, and we have to take on Aaron Nesmith's contract. And we also get Via Zubac as a brand new starting center. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade. In free agency, we could use ourselves a backup wing, so I'm going to try and bring in Cam Johnson. He only wants a minimum. I'll offer him a 2-year deal. Let's see if he accepts. Yes, he will. So we get Cam Johnson on a 2-year, $5 million contract. I don't really want to sign ourselves a backup center. Again, that's because I want Bringer to develop into the backup center role, and that way we won't even need Robert Williams if Bringer is able to develop that much this offseason, which I honestly believe he will. And let me just show you guys right there. So look here on the right side, his potential is an A, and I've seen it before. Joan Bringer ends up progressing like crazy. As much as I would love to make this trade happen, I have been reading your guys' comments to make the videos more realistic, so I am going to start to make the videos a little bit more realistic, probably not 100% realistic, but more so than before. A trade that I could see happening in the next year or so is the Nuggets moving on from Aaron Gordon. If things don't work out for them, perhaps they want to move on and try and bring in some new assets, so we're going to be offering the Denver Nuggets Tamani Kamara and Aaron Nesmith. They get themselves some 2 good young players, 3-and-D players that could possibly work beside Jokic, and we bring in Aaron Gordon to be our brand new starting power forward. Let's see if they accept this trade, and yes, they do. So we get Aaron Gordon as a brand new starting power forward. Perhaps I could have gotten a few second rounders from them, but that's okay. I was about to sign Zion James, but then I seen Quentin Grimes as a free agent, and we do have enough money for him. He wants about $5 million annually, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $5.5 million. I did offer Zion James a contract, but now we're going to have to decline that because we are bringing in Quentin Grimes on a 4-year, $23 million contract. And then if we change Quentin Grimes' position from shooting guard to small forward, he jumps up to an 81 overall. So now he could be our backup small forward behind McDaniels. Here we are at the start of this season with a brand new rotation. So in the starting lineup, we currently have ourselves LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Aaron Gordon, and Avia Zubac. Off the bench, we have Ayo Dosunmu, Quentin Grimes, Joan Bringer, and Cam Johnson. I feel like our team low-key got a lot better than we were last year, especially our bench unit with now adding Cam Johnson and Quentin Grimes. And I'm going to be running Bringer as a backup center over Robert Williams to see how he does. And a big reason to why I wanted to bring in Aaron Gordon over Toumani Camara is in Gordon in 2K Simulation is phenomenal. Camara, on the other hand, has his ups and downs. But in 2K Simulation, Gordon is always phenomenal, and Zubac, a huge upgrade from an aging Rudy Gobert. But there's only one way to tell if our team got better, and that is by winning a championship. Let's simulate the first few games of this season to see how we do. The first game is up against the Milwaukee Bucks, and this is a roster. Let's see how we do. We do end up defeating them 138-102. LaMelo had 30, 27 from Ant-Man, and 27 from McDaniels. Can we also defeat the Nuggets, who we made a trade with? Yes, we can. 130-126, McDaniels 25, 22 Ant-Man, 19 points, and 21 rebounds from Zubac. It would be amazing if we're able to go 3 of 3 for the first week, defeating the Celtics, which we do end up doing, 125-114, and there we go. Aaron Gordon with 22 points, 22 from LaMelo, and 21 from Anthony Edwards. As I am recording this video, there's been rumors going around that Jaylen Brown is probably going to get traded this offseason, so be prepared for a video coming out on the new Celtics rebuild. I'm excited to see what that trade will look like. But now let's take a look at system proficiency. So we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency. I am going to put it on balance where it actually goes up to 4.5 stars. So we're rolling on a 4.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under our brand new head coach, Jason Kidd. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season. But of course, if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping here at the trade deadline to show you all. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and our team is the number 1 seed with 45 wins and 7 losses. I'm not going to make any trades, and that's because our team has basically been perfect. Every single player on our team has been playing exactly how I would want them to play. Aaron Gordon at the power forward position has been phenomenal on 50, 40, 75 shooting splits. I'm very glad we traded for him, and I'll show you guys why. So I was taking a look at the Denver Nuggets stats, and Camara is still struggling with his three-pointer, 34% from the three-point line, whereas Aaron Gordon is shooting 40%. So now let's go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, where hopefully we go on to win a championship. We are stopped here on contract extension day. Let's take a look at what players we need to extend. I would like to extend some players just in case we don't win a championship in the playoffs. That way we still have a team that can continue competing for a title. Avia Zubac wants to sign a contract extension. He is on expiring contract, so let's extend him for the next 2 seasons, paying him about $10.5 million annually, and he happily accepts. Aaron Gordon, player option, we will extend him, paying him about $13 million, 12.5 is good, and he also happily accepts. And of course, Wemby wins the back-to-back MVP, Tyron Stokes, Rookie of the Year, De'Aaron Fox, 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Kasparis wins Most Improved, Luka Doncic, Clutch Player, Jason Kidd, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. Let's take a look at all NBA selections here, and we do get ourselves LaMelo Ball on an all NBA second team, and we also get Anthony Edwards on an all NBA third team. Okay, I thought Anthony Edwards did not make it. I was about to be very, very surprised there, but thankfully he does make it on an all NBA third team. Do we get anybody here on an all defensive team? No, we do not, but none of that matters because we ended this season as the number 1 seed, still dominating the NBA with 72 wins and only 10 losses. A few less wins than last season, but that's okay because we are here for the playoff success, and that's really all that matters, winning a championship. Let's take a look at player stats here, and our leading scorer was none other than Anthony Edwards, averaging 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. LaMelo was playing amazing, 22, 5, and 10. 16 from McDaniels, 15 from Ayo, 13 from Gordon, 13 from Zubac, and 10 from Quentin Grimes. We did have a lot of players here in double-digit scoring, which is exactly what we're going to need in the playoffs. The more depth we have, the more games and further we're going to make it into the playoffs. But now, in the first round, we are taking on the Golden State Warriors, and they have themselves Stephen Curry, Scoot Henderson, Moses Moody, Axel Lendenberg, and Kristaps Porzingis. Let's get to simulating the playoffs and see how we do against Golden State Warriors in the first round. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Anthony Edwards, 33, 9, and 7, 22 from Ayo, and 20 from Gordon. Game number 2, we also secure the win, 26 LaMelo, 21 Ant-Man, and 21 McDaniels. Game number 3, we go on to win. Let's go, 129-99. We outscored them by 30 points. LaMelo went off for a 30-point double-double. And are we going to sweep the Warriors? We do not end up sweeping them, but we do gentlemen sweep them in Game 5, defeating them here by 19 points. Ant-Man dropping 41, 16 from LaMelo, and a 16-point double-double from Zubac. And so far here in the playoffs, LaMelo is averaging basically a 22-point double-double, 28 from Ant-Man, 17 from McDaniels, 13 from Gordon, and a 13-point double-double from Zubac. And now, in the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have themselves Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cason Wallace, J-Dub, and Chet Holmgren with Clint Capella as their center. They do still have themselves Jared McCain and AJ Mitchell coming off the bench. It looks like they also brought in Keldon Johnson. Game number 1, we do end up winning. LaMelo going off here for 38 points, Ant-Man with a 25-point double-double. Can we also win Game 2? And yes, we can. Anthony Edwards with 38 and 11, 26 from McDaniels, 22 and 12 from LaMelo. Game 3, we also end up winning, and we did not sweep the OKC Thunder, but another gentleman sweep win in Game 5. And McDaniels balling out here for 37 points. LaMelo with 21 and 14, 19 from Anthony Edwards. And now we have made it to the Western Conference Finals, and it's a rematch of last year taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Last year they were able to defeat us, and this time hopefully we defeat them. They did make some adjustments to their starting lineup than last year. Now they have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Julian Champagnie, and Victor Wembanyama, and still a very stacked bench with an 88 overall De'Aaron Fox. They were the number 2 seed with 63 wins and 19 losses. And let's not forget, they did eliminate us last year, I believe in a gentleman sweep. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Let's go. LaMelo 29 and 10, 23 from Gordon, and 21 from Anthony Edwards. We also end up winning Game 2, and in this game, we didn't even have a player going off here, honestly. The highest scoring player was Anthony Edwards with 19 points. Game 3, we also secure the win, 125-123. McDaniels with 25, LaMelo with 23 points, and 16 assists. And are we going to sweep the San Antonio Spurs? Yes, we are. Let's go. We end up defeating them here in Game 4 by 20 points. Ant-Man dropping 25, 22 from LaMelo, and 19 from McDaniels. And it looks like we're either going to have to take on the New York Knicks or the Boston Celtics. Which team will it be? And it is the New York Knicks. LaMelo Ball goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 22 and 10 with 2 steals on 50, 39, 90 shooting splits. Karl Anthony Towns, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are trying to secure themselves another championship, and they are still rolling with the same exact lineup. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Let's see how many games they won in the regular season. So they won a total of 56 games, but they were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Can we defeat them here? Game number 1, we do end up winning. 31 from LaMelo, 24 Grimes, 20 McDaniels. Game number 2, we do end up falling short here by 1 single point, 97-96. Anthony Edwards did struggle, and whoa, he's been struggling pretty big here from the 3-point line, especially how he's been shooting the ball in the regular season is not how he's shooting it right now. But the series is now tied at 1-1 apiece. In game number 3, we do end up winning. Anthony Edwards, there we go. This is what we need from our star player, 46 points. And this is what we need from our second star player, LaMelo, with a 32-point double-double. That is what I'm talking about. Game number 4, we also end up winning. Anthony Edwards, 25, 23 and 10 from Zubac, 20 points and 16 assists from LaMelo. His playmaking has been phenomenal. And are we going to gentlemen sweep the New York Knicks? Yes, we are, to win the Minnesota Timberwolves a championship, with LaMelo Ball winning Finals MVP, averaging 26, 5, and 10, 2.5 steals on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. And y'all have to hit that thumbs up button there for that amazing championship playoff run. Go ahead and hit it on 3, 2, 1. And now let's take a look at player stats before I end out this video here. So in the playoffs, we played a total of 19 games. And in those 19 games, our leading scorer was Anthony Edwards, averaging 26.5 points per game. Then we had LaMelo averaging 24.5, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists with 2 steals per game. 17 from McDaniels, 13 Zubac, and 12 from Ayo Dosunmu. In the NBA Finals, we played 5 games, and in those 5 games, Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball actually were tied for both averaging 26.4 points per game. LaMelo was also averaging 5 rebounds and 10 assists. 16 from Zubac, 13 from McDaniels, and 11 from Ayo Dosunmu. And now that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hype the video. If you hit all 3, YouTube pushes my video to a larger audience, so that really does help. And also, click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.